Sunday is the 80th running of the Long Acres Mile, a race that is steeped in tradition. To help us out this year and talk about the race, handicap some of the horses, and tell you about the favorites, John Lindley, who's the resident expert, but he is a strong handicapper. You've been at Emerald Downs for a number of years, John. Tell me a little bit about the Long Acres Mile and why it's just such a great tradition.
Yeah, it's our premier race at the racetrack. It's been run 80 times in this state. We come into Emerald Downs, opened in '96, so it's our 19th running of the Long Acres Mile. It's a race that has a lot of history. Some big name jockeys like Lafitte Pinkai, Gary Stevens, Bill Shoemaker, Russell Bays have won the race. A lot of trainers and owners up and down the West Coast want to win this race for the prestige, and of course it's a nationally ranked Grade 3 race.
Okay, seems like, you know, in years past, Robert Geller has been up here, the old track announcer, and he talks about Striker PhD. This horse has been fantastic down there.
Yeah, he has. He's been our dominant horse for like 3 years now. 2 years ago he ran second in the mile. Last year he won the mile. He's a favorite to win the mile this year, and he does it with the style that everybody loves. I mean, when you watch a Hollywood movie about horse racing, usually the key horse in the big race breaks dead last, is far back, and you're like, oh, he's never going to win. Of course, it's Hollywood. Well, Striker PhD is the real deal. He breaks dead last. He's far back early. You can't even see him on the TV, and then he starts picking up horses on the backstretch. On the second turn, he starts running by him like they're tied to a pole, and he ends up and he's won 6 straight with that big late move, and that's what kind of makes him more special than other mile winners. He's got this stretch kick that's cool.
All right, if you're just a casual horse racing fan, you have to really kind of appreciate the way Striker PhD runs these races. It's kind of fun just to watch him.
Yeah, it is in the stretch because he just blows by other horses at the end of the race, and early on the backstretch you're like, he has no chance. He's 15, 20 lengths back, and a lot of people are like, okay, is today the day that he gets beat? And it hasn't been. 6 straight races at Emerald Downs he's won, and we'll see if he can do it one more time. No horse has repeated a mile victory at Emerald Downs since Emerald opened. It's been done 3 times in the 80 years. He's going to try and do it. It'll be a monumental accomplishment. Plus, he's a local horse. He was bred in Washington, which means the mom was in Washington when he was born. He's going to have to beat the California Invaders and the Hastings Canadian Invaders.
That's a good point, because I know that the Washingtonians really want their horse to win this race, but in years past it's been California dominated, and you've got some top horses coming up from California to race.
Yeah, California has sent up some big name horses in the 80s and 90s, and in the last few years we've had Awesome Jen, who's won over $1 million and came and won our mile. But the last couple of years the local horses have dominated. One Canadian won. Striker PhD is going to try and repel him, and his main competition is going to be probably a California horse named Fleet Eagle. Fleet Eagle had come to Emerald Downs in May and was able to win a shorter race, but he just blew away the competition, local competition. He hasn't raced since then. He's been pointing towards this race. He's the opposite of Striker PhD. He likes to be on the lead early. Striker likes to come from last. We're going to see which one gets there first.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that lead can be too much to overcome for Striker PhD. Why is it so tough to win this race?
You know, the mile distance is a weird distance in thoroughbred racing, only because some horses are bred to go short races, which are called sprints. They're under a mile, they're 1 turn, and most of the others, like your Kentucky Derby horses and the big Breeders' Cup races, are longer races, which are 2 turns but longer than a mile and 1/8, mile and a quarter, or longer. Well, a mile is right in the middle, so you've got to be fast out of the gate, like Usain Bolt, but you have to have some sort of a stamina to be able to stick that distance and go quick all the way around the track. It's a very difficult distance, and it's like why we haven't had too many horses repeating that for that reason.
Okay, so you had racing on Saturday and Sunday. You got to cut some stakes races on Saturday as well, but the Sunday is the big day, the Long Acres Mile, again the 80th running of this great race. What can fans expect when they come in? Gates open at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, first race is 2 o'clock. You can go out there early, 9:30, 10 o'clock if you want to bet the New York track, Saratoga. We're giving an American Pharoah t-shirt away. Now, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a rare event. You get American Pharoah, won the Triple Crown, you get him on the front, you get on the back of all the other Triple Crown winners. Then you can start betting our first race. We'll probably have 11 races. There's going to be 2 stakes races, a distaff for the girls, and of course the Long Acres Mile should be running around 5:30 p.m. And if you win all the money on the mile, you can go back Tuesday and you can buy a yearling at our yearling sale, because those are the horses that will be running next year. So it's a big weekend for local and national fans, but in terms of Emerald Downs, it's our biggest weekend. And we do race through the end of September too, just so you know.
That's good, good. Annually, just a great race. The Long Acres Mile. Again, the first 5,000 fans down there at Emerald Downs get the free American Pharoah t-shirt, Triple Crown winner. John Lindley joining us. Thank you for all the insight on the Long Acres Mile, and have a great weekend with it.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure.
It Happened Tonight is brought to you by Epic Seats.